All right, today we're joined by Ashley Okel. Ashley, do you want to tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
A little bit. I am from Akron, Ohio. I grew up doing 4-H, which is how I got hooked into Buckeye eventually. And you can always tell 4-H people from just the traditional citizen. We identify by county. So I grew up in Summit County, but I did 4-H in Medina County. So I'm from Medina County, but really I'm from Akron, Ohio. The first time I attended Buckeye was in, I believe, 2006, and I got there via Larry Hall. He had done a lot of work with state groups, state 4-H, everything. And so he was an advisor on one of the state trips that I went on. And then we just are kindred souls. And so he said, there's this thing you should do. And I was at Buckeye. And so that was my first year. And then I had a little life get in the way and I didn't go back for a number of years, but I've been there for the past 4 or 5 years since now, the past 4 or 5 years from now. So, and it's something that I always knew would be part of my life, even if there was a little ebb and flow, I would always get back to it. And it would be something I would be involved in long-term. Them's my people. So, so Larry brought me, and then favorite song to sing at Song Circle. Mine is Sing Swing Saints. It is my absolute favorite because it just sweeps everybody up in the moment, in the experience. And I think that singing that song together as a group in Song Circle encompasses like all the squishy and happy and excited feelings that Buckeye is kind of in general. And so it's my favorite because it's just like the peak of my experience. And I love watching new people come in and sing it as well, and just watch them having those experiences and having those moments. And I get to kind of sit back and just watch somebody else's story being written. So that's a cool one for me. And if I could describe Buckeye with one word, I would say it is home. It's something you always, it's like Cheers. Everyone knows your name. And even if they don't, like, you just walk in and you're automatically assumed to be a friend or assumed to be family. And people scoop you up and love you just the same, whether they've known you 5 minutes or 5 years. And so for me, it's a place that I can always return and I belong there. I feel at home there, and everything makes sense there. Even if the rest of my world is chaotic, everything always seems to make sense there. So for me, it's home.
Awesome. So since you've been coming with some regularity now, do you have a favorite memory, session, or activity from Buckeye?
Kind of with the same idea of watching other people make memories, or knowing like this is a moment, like capital M moment in somebody's life. My favorite opportunity was to be part of Bill's drum class. It is a favorite. It's something that is very limited to the number of people who can do it, who have done it. And it's something that he's known for. If he had jewelry box making class, I suppose that would be even more so. But one day I'll save up enough money to buy one at auction, hopefully. But it's something that's really special. So I had, somebody that I've looked up to my whole life. I've known Bill and Larry for as long as I can remember doing 4-H, because they've always done song stuff, song leading with different parts of 4-H. They'd be at 4-H Youth Expo, or I'd see them at like state events. And so I've known him for a lot longer than just at Buckeye. And so having somebody who's impacted your life for decades, and then having something so intimate and special that like, I know that this is something that will only be as long as Bill is able to do that. And to be able to have that opportunity. And I made him sign my drum whenever we were done. He was like, that's so silly. Why would you do that? I'm like, because Bill, because this is a big deal. And so it was really special to me to be able to be part of that, to know that that was my opportunity to make those memories and have those experiences and get to keep my little piece of Bill.
So is there something that you learned at BLW that you use in your personal life that surprises you?
I wouldn't necessarily say surprises me, but I do know that Buckeye is a place that has allowed me to push my boundaries and stretch myself in ways that I might not otherwise do, but I feel comfortable because it is Buckeye. So I've been a seamstress for my whole life, but quilting is not how I sew. And I put it off for a number of years because it seems super daunting and super just beyond something that I would enjoy doing. And I went ahead and I jumped in and took one of Edie's quilting classes, and she made it really digestible so that people like me who maybe they've sewn, maybe they haven't, but even if they have, this is not what they've done. She gave us like small projects to just kind of wean us in, reel us in. She hooked us, and then she's like, no, it's not scary. Come this way. And so she's lured a few more in that way. And it's nice. It's something that now I have confidence. And I'm proud of those things that I wasn't really comfortable doing. I tend to try things I know I'll be good at because I like being good at things. And so it's not often that I try stuff that I think I'm really going to fall on my face for. Might be a character flaw, but I'm glad that Buckeye lets me stretch and try some of those things that I'm like, might suck.
So do you have advice for people that might be on the fence about attending in the future?
I absolutely think that anything is worth trying once. I think that Buckeye, for me, it was automatically something special. I did happen to know people, not many, but a few people. I did happen to know people that were there that I could at least like rely on to not leave me absolutely alone. But I didn't go with like a 4-H group or a church group. I knew Larry, I knew Bill, I knew of Barry, I knew of Christy, like people that I had seen, but really I knew like 1 or 2 people. And so I think that, I don't know anybody, maybe this isn't my thing. I don't think that that is a reason at all not to go. If anything, I think it is a reason to go, because you're a blank slate. You get to be whoever and whatever you want to be. And Buckeye is a soft landing for that and allows you to stretch yourself and develop in ways that maybe you did not know you were able to or wanted to. And it lets you just be more. So just trying it, because there's absolutely no reason not to.
Awesome. So you've mentioned a few names, but is there somebody that you met at BLW that made a lasting impact on your life?
Yeah. So yes, I've mentioned a few names, and they are of the group of kind of the old souls, or the people that have been kind of the strongholds or the staples of Buckeye for many years. Somebody that I don't think gets a whole lot of notice that really has impacted me has been Rod Matz. He does the resources, the bookstore, and he's always around. He is a fireman, and he was there the first year that I attended, and I was really, really sick the first year. I thought I had appendicitis, but I refused to leave. And so I remember just like curling up on my little like bath mat that I had brought. So your feet don't get cold whenever you get out of bed. They tell you bring like a little bath mat or something. So I went to my bunk and I grabbed that and I like curled up on the floor during the music class that I was in. And I'm like, no, I'm okay. And I ended up going to the hospital that year, and Rod brought all my stuff to the hospital, and your dad as well, brought all the stuff to the hospital and sat with me in the hospital And then, you know, and I've known these people like 2 days before I had to leave. And so they just sat with me in the hospital. And then Rod and I have just had this friendship that has continued since then. So what, it's been 15 years now, and we check up on each other, and we, you know, send each other things that are funny jokes or whatever throughout the year. And then every year, whenever I go back, it's like I get to see my big brother. And it's just like this giant hug, this warm smile, and absolutely anything that you could ever want from somebody that you call family. He's just always been just there in the background and helps everybody feel extra loved and everyone feel warm and cared for. And I'm really thankful that he got to be my adopted big brother. I'm taking him. So that's somebody who's lasted for me. He's a good dude, and I'm glad he's part of the backbone of Buckeye, even if he's not somebody that might stand out because he's not the loudest, but he's always there.
Awesome. So do you have any closing comments for everybody?
I'm really happy that Buckeye found me and I found Buckeye, and the family that I've gotten to create, the people that I've chosen to have in my life have been truly life altering. Buckeye is something that happens for a couple days every year, but it's something that I know will rejuvenate me and give me like all the warm fuzzies, pun intended, to last me for the year. Whenever I'm away from those people, and I know that it'll always be there. And regardless of whether it's different faces, the spirit of it is always going to be consistent. And I am very thankful to have that in my life.
All right. Thanks, Ashley.
Thank you.